Okay, day 2 of the Table Talk 30-day challenge. In 20 years, what do you want to remember? Well, hello fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. You know, that's a really good question. What do I want to remember in 20 years? You know, recently some people I know are going through dementia and they're getting to the final stages of that horrible disease. And in fact, very recently, as a few months ago, I lost a cousin to that disease. And he completely forgot who his wife of 48 years was. Didn't know her. And for me, when I think about that, it's terrible because one, their family, two, I don't want to forget my kids. And I don't want my kids having to go through that with me. So in 20 years, I'm hoping that my memory is good, that I'm remembering them, and of course, they're remembering me. So that, for me, is something that in 20 years, I want to make sure I remember, is my family. Mr. Toastmaster. All right, that was minute 20. Who would you like to forgive? Well, hello Toastmasters and welcome guests. Forgiveness is such an important thing. You've probably heard it said that harboring bitterness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Forgiveness is ultimately one of the best things we can do, not just for that other person, but for ourselves, because we are the ones that live with that bitterness. We keep that. The other person, they don't know we're feeling that way, most likely. Someone slights you, they don't know that you're upset, but you carry that around in you. So forgiveness is critically important, and the person that comes to mind when I heard that question was the doctor that had misdiagnosed my father's cancer. The doctor that said, you don't need a CAT scan, you don't need an MRI, and put it off, put it off, put it off. And my dad was in pain. Finally, they did a CAT scan, I think it was. They detected something, or an ultrasound, I think it was. Detected something. He was supposed to go in 4 days later for a CAT scan so they could really get a better look at what was going on with him. Unfortunately, a couple days after that procedure, he passed and never got a chance to go for that CAT scan. For the longest time, I harbored strong feelings against that doctor. And I can't say I'm totally there yet, but I'm working on it. So that's someone that I would like to get to the place where I can fully and completely forgive them. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Okay, so minute 55. Can you describe your life in a 6-word sentence? Well, hello, fellow Toastmasters. Can I describe my life in 6 words? So this is at least a minimum of 1 minute speech, and I'm supposed to describe my life in 6 words. So if I do that, what do I say for the rest of the time? I could speak really slowly, I guess. So I'm going to try here to do it in 6 words. And this is a really good question. It really causes you to go inside and think very carefully about what life is really about. And can you sum up your life in 6 words? Well, I give it a shot and I'll see what I come up with. I am someone who loves my family. See, I didn't do it. At 7. I don't know. You know, I think that I would really need some time to come up with something, because how do you encompass an entire life in 6 words on the spot in 1 minute? Now, I'm sure some of you in here could probably do it, but it's not in my wheelhouse at the moment. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Madam Toastmaster. All right, that was a minute 32. What is your favorite place on earth? You know, I don't know. Well, hello, fellow Toastmasters. I don't know if I can bring it down to one favorite place on earth. I know that when this question came up, my mind went to types of places that are favorites of mine. That would be the coast. But of course, when you go to the coast, depending on where you go, there are different features there. For instance, the beaches in Southern California have waves that do more of a shore break on them. And there's something powerful about seeing the waves roll in and curl and it crashes with the foam popping up. Then there are beaches around here where only certain times of the day or certain seasons will you get something close to that, and the water is a different color and we have different features here. And of course, if you just drive 9 miles up the road, we have Davenport with its big cliffs and its scenic views of the ocean. So when I think about favorite place on earth, it's somewhere near the ocean. It's something about that water that you can look out on after a hard, long day and everything just drops away. Troubles just melt. That for me is one of my favorite places on earth. Madam Toastmaster. Minute 37.